Fusion 360 is a great tool for creating 3D geometry. Those will be manufactured later on. This software doesn't only create 3D shapes but also create algorithms to generate CNC codes and working drawings. But creating any shape in a CAD software like this has some criteria to be followed. For example, solid geometry requires closed sketch or closed contours. Closed contours are created in a sketch mode that we have discussed earlier. In this screen you can see a sketch. This sketch has some closed contours. These contours are very much fine to create a fine solid body, and we can create this solid body then modify it to make a expected shape. Now let's start from the beginning. I have a empty interface and I am going to create a sketch by selecting a plane, top plane, and I am creating a rectangle. I am positioning it with the origin, so that's fixed in this point. I am putting some dimensions in here like 70, and here I have to put 100, and here I am going to create a line, and that will be connected with this. So I don't need to actually trim this portion because trimming this will break the relation in here, so I don't want to be do that. So I'm putting an angle in here like 60, and that's done. The whole sketch is fully constrained. So yeah, now we can finish the sketch, and you can see in the timeline there is a sketch profile created, and this sketch profile is thing that will be based on 3Ds will be. So creating a 3D command, I'm using a 3D command which is extrude, and clicking on the extrude. So here you can see I've clicked and there is a extrude panel, and I can click a contour to be extruded. Remember, some of you may face a problem, you cannot select a contour like I am selecting this. Why that happens? Sometimes you go to the edit sketch, sometimes this option show profile is unchecked, so you have to check this. You have to make sure that is checked, that is clicked, so that you can select the profiles. Otherwise you can't select the profiles. So I am putting a profile, selecting a profile and making a thickness, giving it a thickness. What extrude does, it gives the object a thickness. So I'm giving it a thickness like 15 or 17, 18, whatever I want. I am putting it 15, and that's a solid body. That's a rectangular solid body. So now I can go to the sketch, and you can see the sketch is hidden. So I can bring back the sketch again. It is not deleted, it is hidden. So here is, you can see an eye icon, so you can click the eye, you will bring back the sketch. So I am going to extrude this contour now, and I am giving it a thickness of 10. So you can see there are multiple thickness, and that is a solid body that I wanted to create by extrude. I am hiding that sketch, so you can see there is a solid body that have the thickness of different contour or different thickness. And now what this extrude command does is to create a boss, and also it also creates cuts. How you can create the cuts? So as I created this 3D shape, I have more planes than the top, front and right now, because I have the 3D shapes. It has many planes, right? To create a sketch you can use this plane also. Like this plane, I want to use this plane as a to create my next sketch profile like this. So I am creating this sketch by clicking the create sketch and select this plane. So I am using that plane to create the sketch. Now I am making a circle, and this circle is around 30 in diameter, and the position of the circle is 35 from this horizontal axis, and from the vertical axis it is 50. So the circle is the position of the circle and the diameter of the circle is fixed. So I am going to finish the sketch so that I get another sketch profile. So this sketch profile is also a closed contour, and I can use this to I can use this to create the extruded boss or extruded hole. So I want to create a hole in here. How I can create this hole? I go to the extrude command again, click the contour, closed contour, and then just click the arrow, take this down. You can see when it is intersecting this solid body, the solid body becomes cut, and the operation, you can see the operation is cut. If you make the operation join, that will be a boss, and in normal sense this operation is by default join. That means it will be adding material, but if I make it cut, it will cut the material on its way. It will not create this material, it will cut any material comes to this way. So I click OK, and you can see there is a hole. So I am going to edit this feature. So I am going to timeline, right click and click the edit feature. So if I make this extrusion only 5, so this total thing is 15 thickness. So I am making this extrusion 5, so it won't be a through hole, it will be just a blind hole but not a through hole. So that's another way you can create this extrusion cut. So that was all about the extrusion. For this basic level, you can use this extrusion to create any kind of shape you want, mostly giving thickness or anything related to that. Another way of creating a good solid, another type of solid that are revolving. Actually, revolving means that are round. Okay, those objects which are round in shape or cylindrical in shape or have round characteristics can be created by another command that is called revolve. What this does is to create an 3D, you can see in the picture, with a cross section and an axis. That cross section is a profile, and that axis is the axis of the turn, and you can create that shape by just selecting those. So I am just editing this first sketch that I created, edit sketch, and I am creating an axis. So this is the axis, and I am using the previous one as a profile. So I am just giving this a horizontal relation. This 2 point is in horizontally aligned, and I am giving it a distance from here. So 35 is the distance, also giving it a distance of 100. Okay, so this is the axis and this is the profile or the cross section of the revolving shape. So I'm going to click the revolve, click the profile. Here you can select the profile. I'm selecting these two contours together, and for axis I'm going to select this, and instantly you can see I have got a revolving shape in here, and this shape is, let me rotate this shape is revolving around this axis. You can also get a full revolve or a half revolve or any angle you can put in there. like 100, you get this. To get a full revolve, you have to put 360, and yeah, you have got this nice revolving shape around this axis. So the radius or the radius of this circle is what? The radius of this circle is the distance between the axis and the profile. That is a hollow revolve. That revolve is a hollow. You can also create some revolves. Let me delete this. You can also create a revolve by making the profile and the axis the axis is in the same profile. That means if I don't need this axis and make the axis this line, that will be a solid revolve. Let me demonstrate that. I am selecting this profile, and for axis I am selecting this line. So there is no hole, and this whole profile just revolved with according to that line. So that is a quick revolve, and that is a solid revolve. So you can create objects like this also, and that's the revolve command. Now we're going to look at the fillet command. To create a fillet command, you have to create a solid, because that is a modifying feature. A modifying feature is something that modifies an existing solid. So I have created this shape by extruding. Now I want to create a fillet in the edges. As I discussed previously in the last class, the 2D fillet. This is the 3D fillet. What it does, you just select an edge and select the radius, like I pressed 5. So that creates the rounded shape in the edge. So this edge is not sharp, that's rounded, and this round edge, round face is tangent to this and this face. You can also create inner fillet. Let me show you this, and I put the radius as 4. You can also create that shape. So that is a quick representation of fillet. You can create the fillet like that. And what is chamfer? If I drop down this, and I can see chamfer. What this does is to cut your edge to one distance and another distance, and combine them with a line or edge. Let me show you. I select this edge and I make it an equal distance chamfer. What this does is to create equal distance from both sides from the edge. You can see this edge is from both sides is 5, cut to 5. So you are by default in Fusion 360, when you are creating and write, you can see you are not looking at this 3D model orthographically. So that is a problem. You can fix this or change it to orthographic by going to the display, going to the camera and click orthographic. You are seeing this as orthographic now. That means the projection is orthographic. We were working in perspective. And now let me demonstrate. I am creating a sketch to evaluate. So this from here to here and also here to here. If I make this vertical, you can see that is 5, and this is also 5. So the chamfer is created like going to cut this portion like 5 and also cut this portion in 5, and then join them with a line and create this edge, or sorry, this face, and this face is not like tangent with these faces, they are just connected. So that's how you can create the chamfer. Another feature I want to show you, let me hide these sketches, is the shell feature. What this does is to create a hollow shape inside the 3D geometry. I am selecting this shape and putting a value of 5, or let me put 2 and select OK. What this does is to remove that ground face and give this whole thing an inside thickness. So having that inside thickness shelled. So that was the shell command, and then I have some other commands. These commands are not like used for regular basis, but I am going to show you scale command. This command just scales the whole thing to an multiply value. Like if you scale it to 1, it will be remain as its own shape that is it is right now. So if I make it 2, scale factor 2, it will be double than the actual size in length, width and height. If I scale this to 0.5, it will be half in the shape right which is right now. In every way, length, width and height, it will be half. So that's the scale. It is used to sometimes when we create the molded shapes. Final shapes are created by scale. We scale the whole thing so that when it shrinks, it doesn't become shortened in size. So when we deal with the molding or casting, we have to scale our object. Some commands we will learn about them tomorrow, and we have another class on the basic features. So I hope you have understand the whole thing. So that's it for today. Thank you so much.